In this lesson, we will explore creating an ePub file and learn how to customize the order and the presentation of our ePub file in the Articles panel. To follow along, look for the file name articles_ePub in the Chapter 4 subfolder of your Project Files folder on your desktop. It will also be helpful to have an ePub reader installed on your system so that you can view your exported ePub. I have Adobe Digital Editions, which is a free download from adobe.com. The InDesign file that we have open consists of 4 pages, and you can see those pages here in the Pages panel. Another panel that'll be helpful to open is the Articles panel. You can find that by going to the Windows menu and choosing Articles right here on the top. The Articles panel is how we are going to decide which of these frames are going to get exported out into our ePub file. It's very easy to create your ePub file. All you need to do is select the graphics frames or the text frames that you'd like to include in your export and drag them and drop them over into the Articles panel. The first time that you drag anything over there, you're going to be prompted to create an article name. You can leave it the default Article 1, or you could rename it to something else if you wanted to. We'll just accept the defaults and click OK. Now, to continue adding to Article 1, you'll simply select the other frames and drag and drop them over in the Articles panel. Now, you want to be careful. If I drop down here and you don't see this thick line, InDesign is going to ask us to create a new article. I want to actually include the text frame in our existing article, so I'm going to look for this thick line and then let go. Here's another text frame, and the same thing, we'll just drag and drop it over into the Articles panel. And we'll do that with everything that we'd like to add to the Articles panel. Just simply drag and drop to customize our ePub. Alright, we may need to scroll down a little bit to see page 2. And let's expand the Articles panel just a little bit. Alright, so this might be a good place to create another article. So we'll select the frame starting on our new page and drag it into the gray area, and InDesign says, hey, do you want a new article? Yes, we do. Let's click OK. And then just like before, you simply pick and choose the elements that you would like to display in your ePub. So we'll just take these guys and drag and drop them over there. Now, one thing that I would like to point out is that I have the hidden characters turned on. You can turn yours on also if you need to by going to the Type menu and going down to the bottom to turn on your hidden characters. And I might just take a second to point out why I did that. If we think about how we're going to export this out as an ePub, well, ePubs rely heavily on paragraph returns to separate your objects. So you may see here that I have a few extra paragraph returns that you might not normally have, and that's to ensure a really nice ePub file when we get ready to export. Now, it's not necessary for me to have everything on this page. I can kind of pick and choose what I want and continue to build the ePub. Maybe I'll get the picture of this dog and continue to add things over there. Now, as I continue to add, if I ever need to reorder, let me just add these couple things and then we'll reorder. If we need to reorder anything, it's very easy to do. You simply click the object that you'd like to move around and drag it up or down in the stacking order of the Articles panel, and then your article is reorganized. Okay, let me just scroll down a little bit and let's see what else we might want to get. Well, let's do this. Let's create a new article, one last article, and click OK, and then we'll add the contents of the article that we'd like to display just like we did before. Multi-pet discount. Very good. Let's get that. And a few more things here. Let's do one other article. I know I said 3, but let's just do 4. Let's create one more article, Article 4, and we'll also get this nice bulleted list and put this in Article 4 also. Just scroll down here to make sure that that went in, and it looks like it did. Alright, so now we are ready to export our article. When you're ready to export, simply go to the File menu and go down to Export. You'll see a list of choices here at the bottom under the Save As type, and from here you're going to choose ePub. We'll keep our default file name, which is ePub content, and let's click Save. It seems that I already have this file, so I'll just replace it, no problem. And now we'll need to make some choices about our export options. We have 3 categories, the top one being General. If you've created a cover page like you would have for the front of the book, you can rasterize your first page, or you can choose a custom image. For this example, we don't, so we'll just leave that none. You're also going to want to set up margins so your text and your images don't run all the way to the side. For this example, I've chosen a 28 pixel margin all the way around. Now here's the important part. Content order. Because we've taken the time to set up the articles panel just like we want it to be, let's be sure to select same as article. The rest of this stuff we can definitely just leave this as is. I'm going to turn off View for ePub after exporting because I'll go to the desktop and show you how to view it from there. Under Image, we can actually have higher resolution graphics because we're probably dealing with tablets and all of that looks good. We have a little bit of image alignment and spacing set up. And again, if you don't have the exact settings that I do, it's perfectly okay. Let's go down to Advanced, and the only thing that we are going to do here is notice that Include Document Metadata is supported and turned on, and that will read from the document information that is stored in InDesign that you can actually customize. And the CSS, we're going to leave that to include style definitions and local overrides. And then let's click OK. Alright, well let's see what happened. Let's minimize InDesign and go to the workspace. Here in the workspace you'll see your ePub file, and also we'll see that I have Adobe Digital Editions downloaded for my ePub reader. So I'll just take my ePub file, drag it and drop it over into Digital Editions, and let me just expand this real quick, and now let's scroll through and see our ePub file. Very nice. Let's do this. Let's decrease our text size also. Let me click here a couple times and go back up to page 1. And now we can see a different view of our ePub file. Very nice. So you can scroll through and then go back up to the top. Well, that wraps it up for this lesson on ePub files. Be sure to check out the upcoming lessons where we learn how to export as HTML5 and other popular formats.